Yeah, I was here for sure, you know,
Yeah, it's the neighborhoods are not. Yeah, these the town was rough. It's really split all around. Rid of Castle too.
Yeah.
But once we hit 28.7, I just looked wired trying to get
Yeah, it definitely, it sure did.
Still good.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Sterling, to both those in person and online. Welcome to this place of fellowship and peace, renewal and deepening, engagement and reflection. I am Jackie Mills, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as the president of the Board of Trustees. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your identity, age, ability, or history, know you are welcome to bring your full self here. I have a few announcements. First of all, join us after the service today for a welcome potluck. There will be no online coffee hour today. And we are still actually collecting coats, winter accessories, and toys for Mobile Hope. So there's a bin at the back of the sanctuary, so feel free to keep donating. And please join us for Christmas Eve service, which will be at 5 o'clock this year with Cara in the pulpit. If you are a visitor, we are so glad you are here. You are invited to join us for in-person fellowship or virtual coffee hour. Well, not today, normally, but in-person fellowship, please join us today. To learn more about UUCS or Unitarian Universalism, you are welcome to reach out to me or Cara or any board member. Finally, I invite you to share a greeting with those around you, to both those you know and those you have yet to meet.
Morning. Good morning.
Yeah. What? Oh, I think I just have to say it. Oh. Now, let us share worship with reverence and authenticity.
Good morning. My name is Cara Fortner. You can call me the almost Reverend Cara Fortner. I'm very pleased to say that I am your new minister here at the Unitarian Universalist. Thank you. Congregation in Sterling. That means a lot. I feel the same way. I could clap for each one of you. So thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've been settling in, meeting with the board, meeting with people one-on-one, getting my footing, figuring out where we are, how we want to be, being in line with our mission and vision. There's a lot, and I'm really excited to do the work. December is a weird time to start a ministry job, so trying to make sure that we touch on all of the things that this season brings into our lives, into our spiritual lives, and into our hectic, busy, everyday lives, and meet us where we are there. So I appreciate all of what this moment is calling us to. I also want to say that we are joined this morning by a beloved couple who have been members of this congregation for a long time, and it is Newt's 93rd birthday. And I think if you're willing, would we be able to sing happy birthday? Chris, you want to come up and, all right, we need our music director. Thank you, Chris.
She can sing too, by the way. Don't let her fool you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Newt. Happy birthday to you.
And you're a spring chicken compared to Dick Van Dyke. He turned 100 yesterday, so you got lots of years left.
Thank you, and happy birthday. I also want to talk tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. Our Jewish siblings across the globe will light the first candle of their menorahs, remembering the Maccabees, who, when the Jewish faith had been outlawed, fought and won their religious freedom. And also, news came in this morning, last night, about a tragic terror attack at Bondi Beach in Australia. And 9 people were killed by 2 gunmen at a Hanukkah celebration on the beach. It was an anti-Semitic terrorist attack, and 29 people are also counted as wounded. It is a sad way for our Jewish siblings to bring in this joyful remembrance and time of the Hanukkah holiday. And we mourn today this senseless loss of life and this horrific act. And we light the first candle of our menorah, not in keeping with Jewish tradition to celebrate Hanukkah, for that's not ours to celebrate. But we light it holding Jewish grief and holding our own grief at this devastating loss. And I'm going to share these words by Matisyahu and Netanel Miles Yepes, 2 Jewish writers. They say, the Hebrew word Hanukkah means to dedicate. And when we use the word Hanukkah, we are really talking about the rededication of the temple after it had been desecrated, and about the rededicating of our lives to a relationship with the source of all. So, when our forebears decided to call the holiday Hanukkah, it is clear that they wanted to emphasize the aspect of it that has to do with starting again. It represents something indestructible in us, something that hopes against hope, that gets up when all the evidence says that we'll probably just get knocked down again later. To live inspired by hope is a true miracle in our world. Jewish tradition says Jews should light the Hanukkah candles in a window or doorway where they can be visible to anyone outside. May we look to this practice as an example of living faith bravely, of shining our lights for all to see, and knowing, hope against hope, that we can get up again.
Let us share our invocation. Please join me. This is another day we have been given. This is indeed a sacred day. Let us be grateful for the capacity to sense, feel, and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life, and let us be especially grateful for the ties of love which bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all of our days.
This morning we light our chalice with words called This Faith by Heidi Cottam. Let us be a faith that gathers, reaching for one another through the walls of hate others build, through the cages of ignorance and arrogance, and through the fear that burns city streets. Let us be a faith that sees a vision of a better world, more compassionate, more just, more holy, and with more love. There is a faith that binds up the broken, cauterizes battle wounds with the balm of peace, sings longer and louder than the trumpets of war. Let us be that faith too. Let us be the ones who do not tread lightly in this world, but light it up with our love, who hold up the mirror of worth and dignity, who are the sanctuary others seek. But first, let us be a faith that worships together here this morning, in this space, at this moment. Let us be a faith.
In case you were wondering why we did not sing Carol of the Bells this morning, Mary, unfortunately, is out ill this week, and with the snow and ice that came in, trying to get everybody here an hour early just felt a little unsafe. So I hope you will come at Christmas Eve. We will sing it then. Our chalice hymn this morning, however, is number 221 in your gray hymnals, Light One Candle. We are going to be led by a group of musicians from the Unitarian Universalist Society of Grafton and Upton in Massachusetts, and this is the song Light One Candle. Please rise as you are willing and able.
When their right to exist was denied. Don't let the light go out. It's lasting for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through all of our tears.
Thank you. And thank you to UUSGU.
Yes, now it's on. All right. Now is the time for all ages. So those of you who are young of body, feeling young of spirit this morning, who are accompanying, or if you are in a grown-up accompanying, please come forward to hear our time for all ages today.
I know, she's like, let's go.
Yes. Look at these cool rugs you guys got. That's very fun. Okay. Luckily, I know Claire, and I know June now, and I know Julia really well, so I'm really glad to have you guys here with me up here this morning. And I wanted to ask you a question. What would you call church? What does church mean to you? Family. That's great. Jules?
A place of hope.
A place of hope. That's good.
Anything else, Claire? Family's
good. Place of hope is good. Have you ever seen this little thing that we used to do? I used to do it when I was a kid with our hands. Here is the church, and here is the steeple. You open it up. Where are all the people? Have you ever seen that, guys? No? I'm teaching you something. I can do it. All right. But there's another way to do it where you kind of put your fingers in like this and you say, here is the church and here is the steeple. Open the doors and look at all the people. Does our church have a steeple? No. Is it any less of a church? No, that's right. Does our church have people in it? Yes. They're the thinkers. That's great. I love that. Yes, the people at the church are the thinkers. They're also maybe the lovers, bringing more love into the world. Thinking and loving is something that we like to bring together a lot in our tradition, and that's something really important. But church is more than the building, and it's more than a steeple. It's the people inside of it. Is that what you were going to say? Yeah, you know. So I'm really grateful to be with all of these people in this church and to be with you guys in this church, because the three of you and the other kids at this church make up that people just as much as anyone else, don't you? Yeah. And it's really good to be with you. And I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys better, and so that we can do church together, because church is a good place to be. So I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to doing more with you guys so that we can do church better. But why don't we sing our kids out to RE today so they can do church the way they prefer, not listening to grown-ups drone on and on. Oh, yes, relief.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
The ritual of sharing our sorrows and our joys invites us to hear one another and heal one another. You are invited to briefly share great losses or milestones. If you are in the sanctuary, you are invited to share your name and your joy or sorrow from this mic in the front. And if you are online, I invite you to share your joy or sorrow in the chat box, and I will give a voice to each one. As you share, we will place a stone from the dry bowl into the bowl of water. Please come forward as you are moved.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I am Newt Rose. I had not heard of the shooting in Australia. When we went to bed last night, there was a shoot up at Brown, where Sue graduated from years ago. But you know that today is, by chance, my 93rd birthday. I was born at Vassar Brothers Hospital in Poughkeepsie, New York, where my mother went to her mother. But let me, Tuesday was one of the craziest days of my life, and you probably know about it. I got a call early in the morning from my inherited rabbi. I got it, who told me something about people asking people to buy an Amazon gift card. I haven't the faintest idea. I inherited the rabbi from my classmate in geology years at City College in New York. Phil Cohn was a very brilliant geologist and ended up as a chief hydrologist of the U.S. Geological Survey, a very prestigious position. And the class of '54 also included Kenny Ford, the first black surgeon, intestinal surgeon at Columbia Presbyterian. It's called something else now. And Arno Penzias, who's a Nobel laureate in physics for picking up the signal from the what is he? What the Big Bang. So, but I also, I'm taking too long. Tuesday was the craziest day, I think, in my life. The hacking of my computer, some people got it, some people did not get it. I don't know anything about that. Later that day, I went to get an injection for my sciatica. And somehow, either I got a reaction to the Novocaine or too much Novocaine, and I couldn't walk. They finally dragged me out in a wheelchair and dumped me out in front. And Noel Whitaker, I really appreciate what he's done. He waited for me, and they put me in his car, and we got home. And our son was off that day, and he dragged me up the flight of stairs. Thank you for all these years. I really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCormick, and after, that was a very nice, serious thing to say, and so mine is silly. Shocking, I know. So my younger son, Kevin, is going to go down in history in the Guinness Book of Records. He and his girlfriend were part of the largest number of couples kissing under the mistletoe in Washington, D.C.
I'm Gus Dwogi, and you met my sister, some of you anyway, met my sister Hortense, who came here in May to visit me. She came because I had heard that for my lung cancer, I only had 3 months left to live. So when she found out I was still alive, she decided to come and visit. And when she came to this church, she was amazed by the reception that she got, even though she didn't speak a word of English. And so she begged me to thank you profusely for the support you gave her, the reception you gave her, and the support you gave her brother. So thank you on behalf of Hortense.
Hello, I'm Nancy Sherwood. Mine's kind of frivolous, but it's exciting to me. My son, Austin, lives in Maine, and he works at the Mid-Coast Recreation Center. And this year, at their Christmas event, they had a Skating with Santa program for little children, and my son was Santa.
Good morning. I'm Sally Bryan Prowl. I have a great joy that I'm still experiencing. My grandson, who lives in Tampa with his lovely wife and 2 little people, 4 and 2, came to visit and stay with me the week before Thanksgiving. So I'm still hearing, here comes Grandmother Sally, here comes Grandmother Sally. And it's just a wonderful experience for me.
Hi, my name is Kathy Gallagher, and I am too a very proud mother because my daughter is Cara Fortner. And I am so proud that she has gotten through a very, very rigorous education and has found such a wonderful church to be part of. And thank you. And I'm just proud as a mom can be.
She's an Italian mother. The best kind. Thank you, Mom. And thank you for everyone for sharing your joys and what's going on in your lives. It seems like we don't have anyone online, any chats? Okay. We will place one more stone for all those joys or sorrows we hold in our hearts, especially those still too tender to be shared aloud. I invite you now into a space of reflection, meditation, and prayer as I share these words by Tess Baumgardner. The holiday season is upon us, but this year many of us move toward it with leaden feet. It has been such a year. And because it has been such a year, it may feel forced to enter into the jolly spirit of Christmas, the joyful spirit of Hanukkah, the reflective spirit of solstice, and the hopeful spirit of the new year. Thinking of all of this, I would like to offer you this prayer with you. It is a responsive prayer, so please respond with the words, "May we find peace." Spirit of life, goodness, and peace, may we find peace. When our world is worn with war, may we find peace. When our lives are ruled by fear, may we find peace. When loss ladens our days, may we find peace. When loneliness weighs heavy in our hearts, may we find peace. As we give help to those in need, may we find peace. As we go about our daily duties, may we find peace. As we make holiday preparations, may we find peace. As we gather in this place of grace, may we find peace. Spirit of life, goodness, and peace, may we find peace. Let us now enter into a moment of silence.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, Spirit of life, come unto me. Breathe in, breathe out, stirrings of
Give you a moment to move on to our next piece. This is going to be a hymn for our sermon. We are going to sing number 1058, Be Ours a Religion. The words will appear on your screen.
was at the dog park a while ago. The dog park is a place I go pretty often, and I get the opportunity to talk to lots of different people. And this one time, I met this man who I not met before, and I haven't seen him since. But he was new to me, and we got to talking. Well, he got to talking. He was really excited to be sharing with me because he was new in the area. So he was telling me about his wife's new job and the move they had just made. And of course, he told me all about his dog. And he noticed he'd been dominating the conversation. And he asked me about myself. I told him I was a minister in training, which is always a pretty risky thing to bring up. Before I could even get the sentence out of my mouth, he stopped me, obviously shaken and uncomfortable. "Oh," he said, "we're not religious." I explained to him about our UU faith, that we are without creed or dogma, that we have no one source and instead rely on many sources for insight into the divine or not divine, in hope of living in movement towards love. Though my words were covered by his verbal processing, I stopped. And he said, "I don't mean to be offensive, but what's the point?" I smiled at him, so familiar with that implosion happening in his brain, the does not compute mentality of a fellow millennial who seems to have drunk from the cup of Western assumption that religion means conflict. And I don't honestly remember what I said to him in response. I did have to leave. The dog park is like that. But his question is so important to how we face those who are the majority in our country right now, those who claim no religious affiliation, who are known in the biz as nuns, N-O-N-E-S. Those who cannot cope with religion due to personal church hurt, due to logical witness to the damage caused by differing and warring faith traditions, due to the thought that religion requires a willing suspension of disbelief in order to be included within it. And I think if I were to ask all of us here what our answer would be in response to what is the point of doing church like ours, that those answers would vary. But for me, well, I witness that people are desperate for connection, especially today when technology can bring us closer across continents but divide us when we're in the same room. There is a palpable yearning for our diverse, post-colonial, post-Christian culture for a spiritual revolution, for a revitalization of faithful living, of faithful community, faithful expression of love for ourselves, our neighbors, and the world. A way that doesn't hinge on what this fellow at the dog park thinks faithful living has to hinge on, but instead is an embodiment of a free and active faith. And faith maybe is not everyone's favorite word. We are, after all, a community of various theological understandings, many of which are humanist. Myself, I am a humanist, but one who holds a process theology, which is a real fancy word for thinking that God is in the movement. God is the process itself. I've heard this theological framework referred to as the smell of pancakes. And my daughters definitely make fun of me for this. And it doesn't have to be pancakes, it's what moves you. It's the sense of something greater, something better that rises us from our sleep or from wherever we are with the hope of something good. And that's just my preferred language to describe a theology. And in our beautiful tradition, we have this great thing called freedom of the pulpit and freedom of the pew. As in, I can say what I want for the most part, and you do not have to agree with me. This is our free faith, right? That's part of what makes us excellently awesome, is that freedom. And we don't have to agree on the many pathways we take towards making this world a better place. There are many pathways, but we do agree that we want to make this world a better place. And we are rooted in our shared values, values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, generosity, and most of all, love. And we commit to action in the names of these values. Our future and our present needs a faith like ours, a faith that expresses a hopeful, more loving, more just future where all people can flourish, where communities value our diversities and hold difference with curiosity and yearn to see each other in mutuality for the whole selves that we each are. Ours is a free faith which welcomes questions and inquiry. Ours is a free faith that demands the engagement of our critical minds and a deep appreciation for learning, open to the findings made throughout history that help us to interpret the mystery that is all around us. Ours is a free faith grounded in theological resistance. Unitarianism and Universalism are independent theological frameworks, but they are also traditions, which are much more than the frameworks they started out as. Traditions which evolved separately and then came together when Unitarian Universalism merged in 1961 and brought us to this very moment, the Unitarian Universalism of today. And Unitarianism was born out of a rejection of Trinitarianism, and Universalism is born out of a rejection of hell, or more precisely, born out of a rejection of the idea that a loving God would send anyone to hell. Dr. Meg Richardson, who was my professor of Unitarian Universalist history and polity, once said, "People think of our history as a stream that flows, but we're really more like springs that have popped up all over the place. Wherever there were people reading the Bible closely, there were Unitarians. Whatever our personal relationships are to Christianity and the Bible, our tradition, Unitarian Universalism, did come from Christian beginnings. We are a post-Christian movement. Thank goodness we are so much more than that now, but our early Unitarian and Universalist leaders did claim a Christian faith, just one that included a critical reading of the biblical texts. Unitarianism and Universalism were both born out of resistance to that which didn't make sense, a practice of the head, and that which caused harm, a practice of the heart. We are head and heart people. And there is a lot happening in the world today that surely does not make a lot of sense and is certainly causing a lot of harm. These things include, but are not limited to the elevation of the accumulation of never-ending wealth to the highest achievement of success, to the detriment of the poorest of us. The use of technologies that spread mis- and disinformation in the guise of truth, that funnel people into silos and algorithms designed to sell, target, and divide us, creating a large rift in human connection. And the rise of Christian nationalism, white Christian nationalism, which claims Jesus, the teacher who speaks so clearly in the Gospels for the preference, God's preference for the poor, the marginalized, the vulnerable, and the oppressed, and twist him to affirm their supposedly God-given positions of power over women, over people of color, over the rainbow spectrum of people who identify in a diverse way when it comes to their sexual orientation or gender identities, and power over religious, non-conforming folks like us. It can be halting, nauseating, and heartbreaking to take in the breadth of such discord and conflict, to be part of a system that so effortlessly demeans and belittles the lives and worth of so many of its people. We are faced with these challenges and aim to address them through the exercise of our loving faith. My prayer is that we may be resilient through these churning tides, knowing, as the teacher in Ecclesiastes says, there is nothing new under the sun. Or as a more modern voice puts it, we didn't start the fire. History has shown its teeth before, and luckily, there is a vast treasury of wisdom from prophets among us who have been in communion with the movement of love since the beginning of time. And ministry, the practice of our free and active faith, is to meet the world where it is. Thank goodness we have each other for this. For ministry is never done in isolation. It is always shared. Expressing this beautifully, the Reverend Dr. Mark Morrison Reed writes, "The central task of religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. It is the church that assures us we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow. To see that all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together our vision widens and our strength renewed." Our UU heritage calls us to be communities of resistance, and we can resist by not allowing anyone to burn out the flame of our joy. By celebrating the unique bodies we each have, which come in a myriad of colors, abilities, and sizes, our fleshy vessels that feel pain and pleasure, heartache and elation, to continue to boldly, that's in our mission, right? Boldly, to continue to boldly and unapologetically show allegiance to the worth of every human life. It is countercultural to claim a faith today, to belong to a community of care like ours. It goes against the flow of our self-focused society to intentionally engage the way we do in worship, in social justice, in pastoral care, lifting up important things, wrestling with difficult things, acting on behalf, and bringing more love into the world. And this congregation does good work, loving work, rooted in faithful pluralism. I see that. Every Sunday we recite a covenant here. There is a unity that binds us together and makes us one. That's faithful pluralism. That's the idea that if the movement of love has been working in the hearts of creatures across time and space, that there is some shred of truth in their various expressions of it. There is a oneness to us. This web of existence, this bundle of mess, hope, terror, and joy. And that is where my ministry is rooted. And I am so grateful that that is also where this congregation's ministry is rooted. I know we will do good work together in shared ministry. So returning to our dumbfounded friend at the dog park, what is the point of doing church like ours? I'd say it's that we need each other. We need our differences, our joy. We need this free and active faith. We need our communities of care and resistance which affirm our worth and the worth of every other human, which works for justice, which witnesses our struggles, and which calls us to be brilliant lights of hope. The point is to make meaning out of this chaotic, absurd thing called life, to explore and use the tools religion has given us with spiritual pathways that reflect a sacred truth, the truth that we humans hope and yearn for right relationship with ourselves, with our neighbors, and our world, that we can be good people and live loved and loving lives. Thank you.
It is time for our offering. We have received freely of gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. May we now gladly give a portion of that bounty. 2/3 of the cash offering will support our congregation. The remaining 1/3 will go to support our justice cause. This month, it is Laws. Laws has provided domestic violence and sexual assault services in Loudoun County free of charge since its founding in 1984. They offer emergency shelter, therapy, advocacy, support groups, legal services, and support to victims of violence. They also run the Children's Advocacy Center for Loudoun County, helping children who have faced abuse or violence. You can also visit or donate to their thrift store, The Resourceful Woman in Leesburg. If you are in the sanctuary, you may place your donations in the baskets as they are passed. Online attendees can use the donate button in the virtual order of service. Donations may also be made by mail or via the donate tab on the UUCS homepage. And there is also a QR code in the printed order of service that leads to the donate tab. Please note when your donation is towards your pledge. Thank you for your generosity to our congregation and to our community.
As we prepare to conclude our service, you are invited to reach out your hands and hearts into the space of this community to join in a virtual circle inclusive of all. First, let us extinguish our chalice while we carry forth its light in our hearts. Please join us in our covenant. This congregation is dedicated to the proposition that behind all of our differences and beneath all of our diversities, there is a unity that binds us together and makes us one in spite of time, death, and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity.
Friends, it is time for us to shine the lights of our faith brightly, for all to see like our friends with menorahs in the window. I hope we can practice our faith and our ministry together in a way that witnesses those bonds that bind us, in a way that indeed widens our vision and renews our strength. May we be the bold love we proclaim. May we flow against the current, resisting as our tradition has always done, things that don't make sense and things that are causing harm. May we know our worth and the worth of all others and respond to the many needs of this world together in faith.
Our closing hymn today is number 1028, The Fire of Commitment. Please rise as you are willing and able and join me in singing. The words will appear on the screen, or you can find them in the teal hymnal. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and souls ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. Thank you all so much. There's no Zoom coffee hour today due to our potluck. We hope you have a very blessed Sunday, and please stay warm. Yay! Your sermon. Really loved it.
Oh, nice.
Like, loved it.
Yeah, that was a great sermon. Thank you. Yeah, handled everything well.
Like, you should.